We all know where babies come from. An egg is fertilized by sperm and the resulting zygote needs to be implanted in a uterus so it can grow and divide. The key here is the union of gametes, sperm and egg. This means same-sex partners or partners who are unable to provide the gametes themselves need to rely on donors. But what if that wasn't the case? What if you could just generate gametes from the partners? Soon, we might be able to. The method is called in vitro gametogenesis. It involves converting adult cells into lab-made eggs and sperm cells that can combine to create a zygote. This could pave the way for two adults of any sex or gender to combine their DNA and produce their own biological offspring. The first breakthrough came in 2012 when researchers working with mice successfully reprogrammed skin cells to behave like embryonic stem cells, known as induced pluripotent stem cells. Then, in the lab, those cells were stimulated to turn from stem cells into sperm or egg cells, and to make sure the eggs were mature, they had to implant them into mouse ovaries. But to make this viable for IVG, they needed to turn those lab-created cells into mature egg cells outside a living mammal, which was very complex in itself and finally completed in 2016. Once they'd figured that out, the team followed basic IVF procedure. The skin cell-created egg cell was fertilized in the lab using sperm cells also made from skin cells, completing the full cycle. The resulting zygotes were implanted in a mouse. The test saw 26 healthy pups born from the experiment, and some of those even went on to have babies of their own, showing their genetic material was undamaged. But before you get too excited, this process is technically challenging. Only 3.5% of the embryos created from artificial egg cells matured into pups, while the cells that were matured inside a mouse had a 60% rate of success. For the moment, this tech hasn't led to human experiments. Scientists are working with induced pluripotent stem cells from humans to understand how they work differently than mouse cells when becoming eggs. But there's an added complication. Fertilizing human eggs is forbidden by most ethical guidelines, even for research. Nevertheless, the implications behind this technology are incredible. If scientists can prove this is safe and effective, then someday couples who can't naturally conceive could gain the ability to become biological parents to a child. And if this sounds futuristic, scary, and unnatural, consider IVF. IVF was scary and unnatural when it was first used too. Terms like test tube baby hit the media that are now considered inappropriate or offensive. These days, no one bats an eye when couples use whatever means they have to conceive, and IVG could be the solution for couples that IVF can't help, effectively ending infertility. If you're trying to conceive, consider keeping track of your fertility schedule on your very own website using domain.com. When you buy a domain name from domain.com, you're taking the first steps in creating an identity and vision for your brand. No domain extension will help you tell your story like a .com or .net domain name. Get 20% off domain.com's already affordable domain names and web hosting when you use coupon code SEEKER at checkout. For more super cool science news, be sure to subscribe. Curing infertility is important. Did you know sperm counts are dropping for men in the West? Find out what we know here. Another awesome implication of IVG, a single person could be the biological parents of a child. Thanks for watching.